It only takes a spark to get a fire going, and soon all those around can warm up in its glowing. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you want to sing. It's fresh like spring. You want to pass it on. Well, it's campfire season, a time when we like to gather with friends and family, light a campfire, and sit around sharing stories and telling jokes and enjoying one another's company. And that's just how the early church began. The stories were told around campfires and dinner tables. On the first Pentecost, the Holy Spirit came and rested on the head of each one as if it were a flame. And the flame from that first Pentecost has not gone out. It hasn't gone out because the disciples sat together and shared stories together. It hasn't gone out because when they met someone new, they listened to stories and told stories. They passed that flame down generation by generation. It only takes a spark to get a fire going. And when we gather and share the stories, that spark continues. That spark, that Holy Spirit, is God's love for us. So much like a fire spreads or a flame casts light into the world, we are children of God. We are called to cast our light into the world, the light that we first received from the Holy Spirit on the first Pentecost. Sharing that light now is a little bit different. But if we continue to spread good, if we continue to tell the good stories, God's love will persist in us. We're living in a time where darkness is spreading, where the stories that people tell are inducing fear in one another. Fear is fanning the flame of evil and hatred. That fear is fanning the flame of me first in a time of me first. We've invited to hear the other voices that are saying, me too. We're invited to hear the voices that are saying, I can't breathe. We're invited to tell stories of how God's love is moving. We're invited to tell stories about the uniqueness of each flame, each person, each individual. It only takes a spark to get a fire going. Let the time that we spend in worship spark your fire, and then get going. Spread the love of God like wildfire, and share it everywhere you go.
And now, as we prepare to hear the story of God as told in Acts, I invite you to sing our prayer of illumination along with Gary Simboli. Come, O Spirit, dwell among us. We'll pick up at the third verse. Come, O Spirit, dwell among us. Give us words of fire and flame.